There's a saying, Star Wars, right? And I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Like I watched it as a kid, and it's pretty incredible that it spanned all these decades. But Yoda, there's a saying, right? Yoda says, uh, do or do not. There is no try. And it's kind of funny because when people will ask me things to do something like, hey, can you call me this afternoon? One of the first things I want to message back is, hey, I'll try. Or can you do this? And I'll be, yeah, I'll try. And then I think of that quote and I'm like, I can't say I'll try. You'll try. Like you try vegetables. Okay. You don't try to invest. You don't try to turn your camera on. You do or you do not. You don't try. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Freedom Factory podcast. I'm excited to share a little bit more time with you investing in your business, your network marketing business, and your journey to financial freedom. Today, it's going to be about the do. There's a saying, you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make money and excuses at the same time. You have to choose. And I'm talking from A to Z. People that are successful don't make excuses. People that are unhappy, unsuccessful, make excuses. And I see this over and over and over in business. I see it in investing. I see it in almost all phases of life. And if it's a quality that you have, you must get rid of it. You must. Making excuses completely paralyzes you for your future. Because if it's someone else's fault for whatever it is that you're not able to achieve, then you're out of control. They have control. So today, I just kind of want to talk about a couple things around this subject of excuses. One is around the investment side of things. More times than not, when I have people that I'm talking to about investing, their reason for not investing is not because of a fear of investing. It's because they say they don't have the money. And that is an excuse. That is absolutely an excuse. Because if you have a job, you're earning money. So when you say, I don't have money, that would imply to me that you have no income coming in. You don't have a job. Like if you don't have a job, right, you can't invest. Or I shouldn't say a job. If you don't have an income, because I don't have a job. So there's that. So if you don't have an income, yes, you can't invest. But if you have an income of any amount, you can invest. And some people will say, no, I don't, because I don't have any money. Listen, you are choosing to make an excuse for your spending habits. You're spending your money and you don't have anything left over. That's why you're not able to invest. And I'm telling you guys, if this is falling on someone's ears that has said, I can't do that until I have more money. I can't invest until. You are always going to be saying that. You have to stop. It starts today. You have to stop it. You have to start investing, whether it's 1%, 2%. It's the muscle of activity. It's the process of getting in the habit. It's your habits of setting aside of money immediately as soon as you get paid to invest. 1% will become 2, will become 5, will become 10, 20%, 30%, eventually maybe 50% or more of your income can be invested, but it's never happening if you're waiting to make all this money before you invest. Stop making excuses. Stop it. If you are running credit card debt, it's because you're making excuses. If you're not paying your credit card bills off every month, it's because you're making excuses. It's your lifestyle. I'm just going to talk so blunt to you guys today. It's your choices. It's your lifestyle. You are trying to do something that you probably should not be doing on borrowed credit. And you're not going to win that game. You are not going to outsmart the banks and the financial institutions on that game because they are banking. Listen to me. They are banking on the fact that you're going to keep making excuses. In fact, they are willing to lend you their money because they know you're going to keep making excuses. That's what this podcast is about, guys. They know. And I know if you're hearing this, that doesn't feel very good if you're rolling debt month over month over month, because it means you're losing. Someone has figured you out. That's why they gave you the credit card in the first place. You have to stop that cycle, guys. You have to stop it. You cannot make money and excuses at the same time. You cannot, guys. Cannot. Stop making excuses. Sit down, make the hard decisions so that there is money to invest and still be able to live comfortably, right? And when I say comfortably, that's, you may have to make some changes. You may have to move. You may have to sell some things. It might be uncomfortable for a year or two because you might have to, change your standards of living, or you may not be able to go out to eat as much. You may not be able to go on the vacations, but at least that money you will be taking and investing versus throwing it away month over month over month. I see it in network marketing all the time. I see it all the time. People making excuses about why they can't do things. You guys, this business of network marketing is about leadership. And if you're making excuses for why you can't do the training this week, or why you can't be in front of the room doing the presentations, or why you can't be at the next event that you're traveling, or if there's always excuses, your team is seeing that. No one wants to follow an excuse maker. People will follow people who don't make excuses. People will follow people who know that they can trust in them because they know they're going to show up. They know they're going to show up. They know they're not going to be not showing up on the Zoom because they were sick, or I can't put my camera on because of this, that, or another thing. Well, yeah, all of us could do that. All of us could keep our cameras off because of a million different excuses. When it's important to you, the camera will be on, because guess what? The host's camera's on. The person doing the presentation's camera's on. They're not making excuses. They're setting aside the time because it's a priority. Just like what we just talked about with the investments. You will change your lifestyle when it becomes a priority. The reason you can't invest is because it's not a priority. When you make it a priority, then things will start to change. No, it's not convenient to change your lifestyle. No, it's not convenient to have the camera on. It's not convenient to have to be in front of a camera to turn a Zoom on. It's much more convenient to be in your car or out shopping or out at the beach or wherever you're at and have the camera off. That's much more convenient, but you're not going to lead a team doing that. Show me one team leader. Show me one team leader who goes to all the Zooms and their camera's off. I don't know that person, because they're not making excuses. They're showing up. And people that show up are the ones that are going to succeed. And so what I'm trying to tell you guys is no more excuses. None. Everything, the buck stops with you. If it's going to be, it's up to me. It's all our fault. I say all the time, it may not be your fault, but it is your problem. Figure it out. And I see over and over and over people that are just frustrated are the same people that make excuses. It's always someone else's fault. There's always a fault. It's someone else's excuse. It's their excuse because it's someone else's fault. You can't do that, guys. Don't do that. Right now, one of the most important things that all of you guys can do from a financial standpoint is to own hard assets. You're hearing it more and more and more. If you don't know what a hard asset is, go do the research. But if you are storing your investments in dollars, currency, you're losing right now. You're losing bad. Unless those dollars are invested in hard assets. I'll give you some excuses. I mean, some examples, sorry. Gold and silver. That's a hard asset. The reason it's hard, they say, what's a hard asset? It's something that you, one, can put your hands on, and two, is hard to put your hands on. Okay, things that are easy to put your hands on can easily go away. Gold has stood the test of time for thousands and thousands of years as stored value. So is silver and some of the other precious metals like diamonds. That's a precious stone. Those are hard assets. Okay. I will tell people this and they're like, I just don't have the money to invest. Stop making excuses. There's ways to do it. With $1. With $1, you can start to participate in some of this investing. Okay. Real estate right now, real estate. So many people said, I can't afford a house right now. And I get it. Housing is less affordable right now than it's been maybe ever. And the United States isn't the worst, guys. It's harder in Canada, in Australia and New Zealand. It's crazy. I think I just saw a statistic that in Australia, the cost of a home is 7 times the income rates. 7 times. The United States is 4. So, decades ago, it was easier to own a home. But guess what? You're never going to own the home if you keep making excuses. If you don't set your mind to saying, I am going to do it, I am going to do it, and start setting aside the right type of structured routine, being disciplined in order for you to be able to do this. You guys, hard assets is extremely, extremely important for you guys. Land is a hard asset. And I know we're talking about big dollars, but guys, start small, start working in that direction of owning these hard assets. In the investment world, you can invest in electronically traded funds, ETFs, that are gold or silver or real estate for that matter. Guys, there's funds that are just real estate that you're investing in. And so I hope like there's a saying, Star Wars, right? And I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Like I watched it as a kid and it's pretty incredible that it spanned all these decades. But Yoda, there's a saying, right? Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. And it's kind of funny because when people will ask me things to do something like, hey, can you call me this afternoon? One of the first things I want to message back is, hey, I'll try. Or can you do this? And I'll be, yeah, I'll try. And then I think of that quote and I'm like, I can't say I'll try. You'll try. Like you try vegetables. Okay. You don't try to invest. You don't try to turn your camera on. You do or you do not. You don't try. This is the difference maker. Today, guys, stop trying. Stop it. Stop trying. Start doing. No excuses. Start doing. That is what's missing in so many people's businesses. The excuses and the trying is pathetic. It has to stop. Start doing. Do the things that other people are not willing to do, and you're going to succeed. I want you guys to have control, and it starts between your ears. It's a mental game. This is not a physical game. The game of business, the game of network marketing, the game of investing is not physical. It is mental. And you have to start you can't think like your neighbors. You can't think like the masses. You have to think differently. Whatever affects your neighbors, whatever affects people on social media cannot affect you. If it affects you the way it affects the masses, then you're going to live like the masses. And I don't want to live like the masses because the masses look unhappy and pretty restless right now. So anyway, do or do not. There is no try. No more excuses, guys. Buckle down, cameras on, take control. All right. See you guys next week.